Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Fun. Today, we back to learn English through an inspiring story. The Boy from Birmingham. How Oliver Changed His World with Books. Listen carefully, speak slowly, and enjoy learning with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss our stories.
Oliver Green was born in Birmingham, England, in a small apartment above a bakery. His parents were kind but struggled to make ends meet. His father worked night shifts as a factory worker, and his mother cleaned houses during the day. Despite their challenges, they always encouraged Oliver to learn. From an early age, Oliver loved books more than toys. His favorite place was the small public library down the street. He would spend hours there, reading about faraway lands and curious inventions. The librarians all knew his name and saved new books for him. Oliver's school was underfunded and crowded, with old books and broken windows. But that didn't stop him from dreaming big. He sat in the front row, always asking questions. His teachers noticed his determination, even if his grades weren't always perfect. At home, Oliver built a reading corner in the kitchen. It was just a chair and a box of secondhand books, but it felt magical to him. His mother often found him asleep with a book in his lap. "One day, you'll write your own story," she whispered. When Oliver turned 12, a guest speaker visited his school, a young author from London. Inspired, Oliver began writing in a notebook every night. His stories were about kids like him doing big things. He dreamed of one day publishing a book of his own. But life wasn't always easy. His father lost his job during an economic downturn. They had to sell many of their things, and Oliver gave up pocket money to help. Still, he kept writing and reading as much as he could. At 14, he entered a youth writing contest sponsored by a local newspaper. He stayed up late for weeks, writing a story about hope in hard times. When he won first prize, he could hardly believe it. His parents cried when they saw his photo in the paper. That small victory changed everything. A teacher helped him apply for a scholarship to a better school in the city. At his new school, Oliver felt like a small fish in a big pond. But he worked hard and stayed focused on his dreams. He often felt out of place among wealthier students. Their clothes, gadgets, and lifestyles were different from his. But Oliver found strength in his story. He knew where he came from, and he used that to fuel his ambition. One day, he met a retired professor in the school library. They struck up a conversation about classic English literature. The professor became his mentor and introduced him to deeper books and writing techniques. Oliver soaked up every word like a sponge. At 17, he started a blog where he posted short stories and reflections. It quickly gained readers from around the UK. People were touched by his honesty and vivid storytelling. He received emails from students who said his words gave them hope. With the professor's help, Oliver applied to the University of Oxford. He didn't think he would get in, but he tried anyway. A few months later, he got the letter. He had been accepted. His entire neighborhood celebrated with him. At Oxford, Oliver faced new challenges. The academic pressure was intense, and he sometimes doubted himself. But he remembered the little boy in Birmingham who never gave up. That thought kept him going. He continued to write, this time more seriously. His work focused on class, dreams, and the importance of voice. One of his essays was published in a national magazine. More and more people began to notice his talent. During his second year, Oliver volunteered at a school in a low-income area. The children reminded him of himself. He read stories to them and encouraged them to write their own. Some of them said it was the first time they believed they could do more. He later created a program called Words That Win to support young writers from disadvantaged backgrounds. The program offered free workshops, books, and mentorship. It started in Birmingham but soon expanded to other cities. Oliver was proud to give back. In his final year, he signed a deal with a major publisher. His first book was a collection of short stories about resilience. It became a bestseller in the UK. People praised his fresh voice and emotional depth. Oliver went on a book tour, visiting schools, libraries, and bookshops. Everywhere he went, he met readers who were moved by his story. He always told them, "Your story matters. Don't ever let anyone tell you it doesn't." Despite his success, he remained humble. He still visited his childhood library and donated books there. The old librarians welcomed him with hugs and smiles. "You never forgot us," one said, wiping a tear. Oliver's second book was a novel based on his own life. It was turned into a film that won several awards. He used part of the profits to build a community reading center in Birmingham. It became a safe space for young minds to grow. He continued to write and speak about literacy, poverty, and the power of stories. Governments and NGOs invited him to help design reading programs. But he always said his heart belonged in the classroom. "Real change starts with one reader at a time," he said. Oliver married a fellow writer and started a family. He read to his children every night, just like he once dreamed. They grew up surrounded by books, imagination, and love. He hoped they'd find their own stories too. When he turned 40, he received a national honor for contributions to literature and education. He dedicated the award to his parents and teachers. "They believed in me before the world did," he said. The audience gave him a standing ovation. Today, Oliver Green is one of the most beloved authors in Britain. But he still signs his books with a simple message: keep going. His journey reminds people that background doesn't define destiny. Stories, he believes, can open every door. From a small flat in Birmingham to the halls of Oxford, Oliver proved that words have power. His life is a reminder that talent needs opportunity, and dreams need determination. For every child who feels unseen, his story is a light, and his journey has only just begun.